He said, I never tell my patients they're terminally ill. What I say is that my skills, my abilities have terminated. I determine the diagnosis. You and God determine the prognosis.
How did you overcome the cancer? Like how, and I know this wasn't your first battle, this was your second, correct? How did you overcome that? Who did you have to be? Because I heard you quote a stat, and I hope that you quote it today, about our immune system. How did you say, no, I'm debt free, I'm cancer free, and I'm drama free? Like, how did you do that?
The oncologist, he was a bad brother who graduated from Howard University. His name was Mr. Golson. And so he said, Mr. Brown, I got some bad news. What is it? You have cancer.
Oh.
I said, whoa. I said, is there anything else? He said, yes. It's metastasized to 7 areas of your body.
Oh.
I said, wow. He said, why are you smiling? I said, man, 7 is my lucky number.
Wow.
I'm one of 7 children. I was born February the 17th. Joshua marched around the walls of Jericho 7 times. Naaman dipped himself in the river Jordan 7 times. I said, is there anything else? He said, yes. I said, what? He said, and you're ugly too. I said, come on, man. Did you just
Lies.
He said, but you got this. He said, I never tell my patients they're terminally ill. What I say is that my skills, my abilities have terminated. I determine the diagnosis. You and God determine the prognosis. And a verdict, as we look at ourselves, the verdicts of what take place in our lives are not determined by the facts. It's determined by us, our faith, our heart, and our willingness to do what's required in order for us to be here. Being here is not a given.
Oh, so good. I heard you said something along the lines of our immune system drops. What was that
When
percentage?
someone looks at you and say that you have a terminal illness, your capacity of your immune system to protect you drops by 40%.
Wow.
In the UK, they don't even allow doctors to say that you are terminally ill anymore. Because of the area of psychoneuroimmunology, words have power. That's why in the Bible it says, death and life is in the tongue. That we speak too much death as opposed to speaking life. And a diagnosis is not a verdict.
Yes.
Yes, and so there are some people, they leave as a result of hearing those words. And what he said, I determine the diagnosis, you and God determine the prognosis.
Yes.
And that works for me.
Yes.
Yeah, I have a friend who I talked to yesterday. She was told, because she had breast cancer, that she was terminally ill. And she said, what do you mean by that? He said, well, you have 6 months. And she said, listen to me. She said, you determine the diagnosis. God determines the timetable. Stay in your lane.
Ooh.
And that was 8 years ago. Come
on, somebody. Wow.
Oh,
wow. Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
She said, stay in your lane.
Oh, I have goosebumps. Because people so often, you know, the book Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill.
Yes.
And he talks about drifters, right?
Yes.
Because so many people are drifting inside of their lives and they're never really certain about most things. They allow the people, the places, the things, the opinions, the judgments, the diagnosis to tell them who and how they're going to be, and then they choose to believe it. But wow, you just, how powerful it is to just know. You can say whatever you want, but this is what I'm believing. And sometimes we win that battle and sometimes we don't.
And we have to work consciously. Reading, having a ritual like you have and I have.
Yes.
Reading something positive every day, 30 or 40 pages. Listening to messages that are designed to empower us. Dr. Carter G. Woodson said, if you can determine what a man shall think, you never have to concern yourself with what he will do.
Oh.
He said, if you can make a man feel inferior, you never have to compel him to seek an inferior status, for he will seek it himself. And if you can make a man feel justly an outcast, you never have to order him to go to the back door. He'll go without being told. And if there's no door, his very nature will demand one. I spoke in a prison in Ohio, and these young guys came in sagging their pants. I said, hey, what y'all call that? I'm an old man. They said, sagging. I said, wow. I said, how you spell it? I said, what, Saggin? Yeah, Saggin. I said, wow. If you can determine what a man shall think, you never have to concern yourself with what he will do. I said, spell it again. And they said, Saggin. I said, now spell it backwards.
Oh.
They got quiet. I said, I'm here to eliminate a virus, HIV, hood-infected virus,
Oh.
AIDS, addiction to incarceration and death syndrome. Don't come for me. I didn't call an Uber.
I'm ready to cry right now. Oh my gosh. Oh, sheesh. That just hit my soul. We subscribe. Like, whose story are you subscribing to?
Come on now.
And then when you teach people, okay, you don't have to choose this story.
That's right.
If I want to learn about Les Brown, I'm not going to go learn about how to knit kitten hats. You know, like
Yes.
it's just not what you do. You have to
Right.
be in alignment with what it is that you want. I have to ask you, do you feel like you are mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, physically, energetically as strong as you are now because of your upbringing? I know that they say there's nothing like having a praying woman in your life.
Come on now.
And I know that Miss Mamie Brown, you know,
Yes.
I know.
You know, I always say all that I am and all that I ever hope to be, I owe to my mother,
Yes.
Mrs. Mamie Brown.